Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress and Chess to Progress. You may know that I have a second channel, Chess to Progress. The idea was to have Chess to Impress aimed at advanced players and Chess to Progress at novice players, at improving players. I have always been told that to progress at chess you will need to study tactics, study endgames, study the classics from the past and the present and analyze your own games. And on all those 4 topics I have made series on Chess to Progress. The last category proved quite popular. I received over 100 emails from viewers who sent me their games for me to analyze, and I've made over 60 videos on viewers' games so far on Chess to Progress. However, the second channel has not done as well as I hoped for. In the last batch of videos I barely hit 150 views, which is not a great return on the time and effort I put into making those videos. And then I received a comment from a viewer on Chess to Progress, a long-time supporter of both channels, Angel and Soul. He said, I would like to say maybe you should consider merging your channels to get more views, as your content is awesome and definitely deserves more views. I'm sure everyone on Chess to Impress will love all your content. Almost seems criminal how little views this channel gets. Might be an idea to consider, or at least trial. And I said, thank you for the thought. I'll think about doing what you suggest. And he came back saying, I think that's a good call, Rick. And what better time to start than with my game? I believe I'm next in the list. Waited a long time, patiently. Thanks for the reply, by far my favorite chess channel. And I thought, why not? It is indeed Angel and Soul's turn on the viewers' games. So I'm going to present his game here on Chess to Impress. And I have 2 questions for you, and I hope you will give me your view in the comments underneath this video. What do you think of the content of the Chess to Progress channel? I'll put a link, an icon to the channel at the end of this video so you can have a look. And the second question is, should I merge both channels as Angel and Soul suggests? And if you would like your game to be analyzed on my channel, please send your game by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. There's a list of people ahead of you, but I commit to analyzing at least 1 game for every viewer who makes the effort to send me their game. Enough talk, let's play some chess, and let's look at Angel and Soul's game, whose name is Angerto on Lichess. He writes, I have a game that could be interesting for you to have a look at. I played it on Lichess against a player rated just under 2000, which is over 150 points more than me. It was a 5-minute blitz game. I look forward to your analysis, as I have already improved by viewing your channel. White was Mac Black with a rating of 1985, and black was Angel and Soul, whose name is Angerto on Lichess, and his rating was 1826 at the time this game was played. White opened e4 and Angerto played d5, the Scandinavian defense. E takes d5, queen takes, and here the most popular move is knight c3, hitting the queen straight away, and then the queen goes either to d6 or a5 or back to d8. But in this case white played knight f3, and here bishop g4 and knight f6 are the most popular moves, but Angerto goes back straight away to d8, voluntarily retreating the queen. Maybe it was a pre-move, expecting knight c3 instead of knight f3. Bishop c4, now white has already 2 pieces in the game while black has none, so white already has an advantage in development. e6, white castled, knight f6, d4, and Angerto develops his other knight. And now an odd move from white. He played c3 after 1 second thought. It occupies the natural square of the knight. That is a bit odd. And also, why play c3? Maybe white wants to play c2, c4 in 1 move, instead of first to c3 and then to c4. Also, the white d-pawn does not require any direct protection, so you don't have to play c3 because of that. So it's a bit of an odd move. Angerto develops his bishop, white does the same, and c6, black sets up a very solid defensive lineup. His problem piece is the bishop on c8. h3 from white, black castled, white develops his knight, and b6 with the idea of developing his problem piece to b7. And as white has not played very energetically so far, this strategy works out fine for black. Queen c2, there goes the bishop. White retreats his bishop, and now the engine wants to play c5, challenging the center and freeing up this bishop, which now has a nice diagonal. But our viewer decides to give his knight more scope first, and he played knight d5. Attacking the bishop, bishop step back, and the other knight comes to f6. Knight e5 from white, and now Angerto plays c5. Here the engine wants to take back and play rook a d1 and says the position is about equal. But white plays a bad move. After 3 seconds of thought he plays a3, and this move doesn't really do anything, and now Angerto grabs the initiative. He takes on d4, and after that pawn has been taken back, he plays his rook to c8 with a tempo on white's queen. Queen steps aside, and here the engine likes knight h5. That is the strongest move, with the idea of knight d to f4, and then putting pressure on the g2 pawn with bishop and knight. But Angerto plays bishop d6 instead. Rook fe1, and now again knight h5 is a good option, but our viewer plays queen c7. Here knight dc4 is the best move, and the position is about equal, but here, after only 2 seconds thought, white makes a mistake. He plays rook ac1, and that gives Angerto the chance to give his queen for 2 rooks, and in this position that is a good deal for black. He takes on c1, rook takes check, king h2, and Angerto brings the other rook to c8, connecting the rooks on the c-file. Knight d to c4, disturbing the coordination between the rooks. The rooks are no longer protecting each other, with the apparent idea to try and win this rook on c1, which is now a bit lost in white's position. Angerto plays bishop a6, and now white is in trouble, and has only one move, which is not easy to find. The engine gives the best move for white here as queen f3, and says this is the only way to stay in the game. Even then black is slightly better. That's not an easy move to find. White played queen d2 instead, trying to round up this rook that is lost in white's position, but now Angerto will be able to win 2 pieces for that rook. And he found it. He took on c4, and now a lot of pieces come off the board. Bishop takes, knight takes, bishop takes g3 check, and please note that you cannot take back with the king, because then there is knight e4 check with a nice fork, so you have to take with the pawn, and then rook takes c4. Black has rook and 2 knights for the queen, and has a winning position. In this position the queen is no match for black's pieces. White played g4, h6 from our viewer, and g5, that gives away a pawn, because Angerto took, and after queen takes, the pawn on d4 is hanging. Queen e5, hitting the rook, and now Angerto thought for 43 seconds, quite long in a 5-minute blitz game, to find the right square for the rook, and he found rook d2. He is going to attack the white's king with his pieces. He wants to checkmate the white king. He's not worried about losing the pawn on a7, as we'll see, because white played queen b8 check, king h7, and took that pawn. Knight f4, strong move from Angerto, hitting the g2 pawn with 2 pieces. He's going to checkmate the white king. White took another pawn, and rook takes g2 check, king stepped aside, and now knight 6 h5, very strong move. It was so strong that it caused white to resign. But Angerto writes, I only just realized my last move, which got the resignation out of my much stronger opponent, was actually technically a blunder, and probably my worst, even though at first glance it looks like a crushing move. However, my position is so strong that it still leads to a victory, albeit it does require a degree of technique and some caution. Could be interesting to highlight. Yes, I'm highlighting it, and I'm also disagreeing with you, Angerto. I don't think knight 6 h5 is a blunder. Yes, the engine wants to play rook e2 instead, gives that as the strongest move, but it also likes knight 6 to h5 because of the checkmate threat with knight g3. It forces white to give the queen. Queen takes, knight takes, and then the rook is unprotected. But why is this a blunder? I think it's an excellent move. It's the easiest and safest way to victory. It forces white to give it the queen, and what's remaining is a simple endgame with just an extra piece for black. Black will bring his king closer, and he has just an extra piece. Pawns are equal, and this is simple technique, and that's what you want. If you have a winning position, you want to win as simply as possible, especially in a blitz game, and taking white's queen off the board is the right thing to do here. I think knight 6 to h5 is an excellent move. A great game from our viewer, and looking back it was really rook a to c1 on the 19th move, which was the decisive mistake. It was played after only 2 seconds of thought, and it enabled black to give his queen for the 2 white rooks, after which white did not really get a chance anymore. Well played, Angerto, and thank you very much for sending me this game so I could share it with the Chess to Impress community. So this is the type of video I've been doing on Chess to Progress, and again the 2 questions. What do you think of the content on Chess to Progress? I'll put the link at the end of this video. And should I merge both channels? Please let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the Chess to Impress and Chess to Progress channels. As I mentioned, I put the link to the Chess to Progress channel here, so please go click on it and have a look at what the Chess to Progress channel has on offer. This is Rick for Chess to Impress and Chess to Progress. Thank you for watching.